You're the king. You've lost everything. Your best friend, the man you love like a brother, the greatest knight you ever knew, exiled for loving your wife. Gone for 6 years. You'll never see him again. Your wife in a convent, praying for your soul, praying for her own, praying for forgiveness for sins you all committed. You see her face in your dreams and wake up with her name on your lips. But she's gone, lost. 100 knights abandoned you 3 years ago, abandoned their oaths, abandoned their duty, abandoned you, chasing the Holy Grail, chasing salvation, chasing perfection they'd never find. 40 died in the wasteland, starved, froze, gave up, dead for nothing. 30 never came back, lost, disappeared, went mad, gone forever. 30 returned broken, haunted by their failure, guilt-ridden, useless, ghosts wearing armor. You have 50 men left, 50 broken, exhausted men defending an entire kingdom, and your son is watching. Mordred, the son you tried to drown as an infant, the baby who survived the May Day massacre, the boy who grew up knowing you tried to murder him. He's been at your side for 6 years, helpful, loyal, patient, smiling, waiting. The prophecy has been waiting too, 25 years, since the night Merlin spoke it. You will be killed by your own son, not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. Your son will drive a blade through your skull, and you'll die knowing you deserved it. Tonight, the prophecy comes true. The son returns, the father falls, the kingdom dies. This is how it ends, not in glory, in blood, not with victory, with mutual destruction, not with hope, with corpses in a field and a kingdom falling to ruin. If you believe sins echo through generations, if you want to see how violence begets violence until everyone's dead, subscribe to the Midnight Archives and hit that like button. This is episode 4 of our King Arthur series. If you haven't watched episodes 1, 2 and 3, go back now. You need to understand the May Day massacre, the affair, and the Grail quest to grasp why this ending is inevitable. Why Arthur can't escape this. Why no one survives. Tonight, the rebellion, the return of Lancelot, the final battle, the mutual killing, the death of kings. And next episode, episode 5, the final episode, we'll meet the woman you haven't seen yet. Morgan Le Fay, Arthur's sister, the sorceress who orchestrated all of this from the shadows, the woman who stole Arthur's immortality and made this death possible. But tonight, Mordred's revenge. Welcome to the Midnight Archives. Let's end this.
5 years have passed since the Grail quest knights departed. 5 years since 100 men rode away chasing visions, chasing God, chasing escape from their failures. Arthur is 46 years old now. He looks 65. His hair is completely grey, not distinguished silver, just dead, colourless grey. His face is lined with deep creases around his eyes, his mouth across his forehead, the lines of a man who hasn't slept properly in years. His hands shake, not constantly, but when he thinks no one's watching, when he's alone, when the weight becomes too much, his hands tremble, not from age, from stress, from holding a dying kingdom together with 50 broken men and sheer willpower. Camelot feels like a tomb. The great hall echoes. Every footstep, every voice, every sound amplified by emptiness. Too many absences, too many ghosts. The round table sits in the center like an accusation. 150 seats, built to hold the greatest fellowship in British history. Knights united in brotherhood and honor and purpose. Now maybe 40 seats are occupied. On a good day, when everyone shows up, the rest sit empty. Each empty seat a name, a face, a brother lost. Lancelot's seat, empty 6 years. Gareth's seat, empty 6 years. Percival's seat, empty. The boy never came back from the quest. Lamerac's, Tor's, Agravain's, dozens more, all empty, all accusing. There are no tournaments anymore, no celebrations, no feasts, no laughter, just survival, day after grinding day, just holding on. The courtyard where knights once trained is mostly empty. A few young boys practicing with wooden swords under an old master's eye. That's all. That's what's left. The kingdom is dying. Everyone knows it. Everyone can feel it. They're just waiting for the final blow.
Arthur knows exactly how vulnerable Britain is. He's not deluded, not in denial. He sees it clearly. No real army, no defenders, no strength. The knights who stayed, the 20 who never left, who stayed loyal when everyone else abandoned him. They're old, 50, 60 years old. Veterans of a dozen wars, skilled, experienced, also exhausted, also wounded, also too few. The knights who returned from the quest, 30 broken men. They're useless, can't fight properly, can't focus, haunted by their failure. They sit at the round table in silence, staring at their empty plates, remembering the grail they didn't find, the purity they didn't achieve, the worthiness they didn't earn. Broken, all of them. So Arthur's real army is maybe 20 functional knights, against an entire kingdom's worth of enemies. The kingdom is held together by Arthur's reputation alone, the memory of what he was, what Camelot was, the legend of the king who united Britain. But legends fade, memories weaken, and everyone's watching to see when Arthur finally falls. Neighboring kingdoms watch the borders, waiting, testing, small raids, little provocations, seeing if Arthur will respond, seeing if he can respond. So far, he has. Barely. Just enough to keep them at bay. But everyone knows it won't last. Can't last. Saxon invasions are increasing. They smell weakness. They're probing defenses, finding gaps, testing responses. Soon, maybe months, maybe weeks, someone will invade properly, with a real army, a real threat. And Arthur won't be able to stop them. Everyone knows it. Arthur knows it. His enemies know it. They're all just waiting to see who strikes first. And then there's Mordred. Mordred has been at Camelot for 6 years now. Arthur's acknowledged son, given honor and authority and a seat at the round table. For 6 years, he's been helpful, loyal, dutiful, everything a son should be. When the Grail Quest knights left, Mordred stayed. "I won't abandon you, father," he said. "Not when you need me most. He's been Arthur's right hand ever since, his most trusted advisor, his most reliable defender. When Arthur travels to deal with border raids, Mordred stays at Camelot, managing the kingdom. When Arthur is too exhausted to handle petty nobles' disputes, Mordred handles them. When Arthur needs someone to command the few knights they have, Mordred commands them. Everyone respects him now, not just tolerates him, respects him, trusts him. The younger knights especially, the boys who never knew Arthur's glory days, who only know the tired, broken king who sits on the throne now. To them, Mordred is everything a king should be: young, strong, decisive, present. Mordred has built alliances too, carefully, quietly, over 6 years, sends messages to neighboring kingdoms. When Arthur dies, and he will die soon, he's old and sick, I'll be king. Remember that. Remember I was friendly to you. Controls information. Controls access to Arthur. Controls the narrative. The king is tired today. I'll handle this meeting. The king is unwell. I'll make this decision. The king trusts my judgment. This is what we're doing. Slowly, incrementally, taking over. And Arthur lets him. Because what choice does he have? He needs Mordred, needs his energy, his strength, his competence. Needs him because everyone else is gone. Mordred sits at the round table in a seat of honor, close to Arthur's, where Lancelot used to sit. And he's patient, so patient. No rebellion, no coup, no overt moves, just waiting, building power, positioning himself, waiting for the perfect moment. Because Mordred learned something from watching Arthur for 6 years. Timing is everything. Strike too early, you fail. Strike too late, you miss your chance. But strike at exactly the right moment, when your enemy is weakest, when you're strongest, when everyone's already accepted you as the inevitable successor. Then you don't even need to fight. You just take what's already yours. Mordred is waiting for that moment, and he can feel it approaching. Soon, very soon. There are a few knights who never left, never wavered, never abandoned Arthur, even when everyone else did. Bedivere, Arthur's oldest friend, maybe 60 years old now, one-armed, lost his sword arm in a battle 15 years ago, can barely fight anymore. But he's still here. He's been with Arthur since the beginning, since the sword in the stone, since the very first battle. 40+ years of friendship. He sits at the round table every day, says little, but he's there, solid, reliable, loyal. Kay, Arthur's foster brother, the man who raised him, late 50s, bitter, sarcastic, mean, but loyal, unshakably loyal. Because Arthur is family, and you don't abandon family. Kay hates what the kingdom has become, hates the broken knights, hates Mordred, hates everything, but he stays. Because leaving would be admitting defeat, and Kay doesn't admit defeat. Bors, returned from the Grail quest after a year, one of the few who came back better than he left. Practical, grounded, steady, the kind of knight who just does his job without complaint, doesn't talk about the quest, doesn't talk about failure or unworthiness, just serves, just fights, just does what needs doing. Arthur relies on him more than he should, because Bors is one of maybe 5 truly functional knights left. Gawain, returned from the quest 3 years ago, broken, haunted, guilt-ridden. His brothers, Gareth and Gaheris, died in the Civil War 6 years ago, killed by Lancelot during the rescue. Gawain went on the quest, seeking forgiveness, seeking peace, seeking some way to live with what happened. He found nothing, just emptiness and failure. He came back because his dead brothers appeared to him in a vision and told him to stop running, to go home, to serve his king. So he did, but he's not the same. The old Gawain, loud, confident, jovial, is gone. This Gawain is quiet, haunted, going through the motions, but he's here. And when Arthur needs him, he fights. Those 4, and maybe 10 to 15 others. Old men, young boys, the wounded, the ones too loyal or too stubborn to leave. That's Arthur's army. That's what's left of the Round Table. Not enough, not nearly enough. But it's all he has. Late one night, Arthur is alone in the Great Hall. He can't sleep, hasn't slept properly in years. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees faces. The babies from the May Day massacre. 43 infants, drowned on his orders, their faces underwater, screaming silently. Guinevere on the stake, burning, reaching for him, begging. Lancelot riding away, never looking back. The Grail quest knights leaving. 100 men abandoning him, choosing God over him. So he walks the castle at night, checking on guards, checking on walls, checking on nothing, just moving because stillness is unbearable. Tonight, he's in the Great Hall, the Round Table looming in the darkness. He lights a candle, walks to the table, traces his hand over the empty seats. Each seat has a name carved into it. The knight who sat there, who swore oaths there, who belonged there. Lancelot du Lac, empty 6 years. Arthur stops at that seat, his hand resting on Lancelot's name. "I miss you, brother," he whispers to the empty chair. "Even after everything, even after Guinevere, even after the war, I miss you. You were the best of us, and I let you go. I had to let you go. But God, I miss you." He moves on. Other names, other ghosts. Gareth, young, gentle Gareth, who loved everyone, dead at 23. Percival, pure-hearted, earnest Percival, went mad searching for the Grail, never came back. Lamorak, Tor, Agravain, Safer, Belanger, dozens more, all gone, all lost. Arthur sits in his own seat, the king's seat, at the head of the table. He looks at the 50 empty seats surrounding him, the ghosts of his fellowship. "I built this," he says to the empty hall, to no one, to everyone. "I built this table, this fellowship, this dream, and I destroyed it, same hands. The massacre created Mordred. My guilt brought him here. My weakness made him strong. The marriage created the affair. My loveless match made Guinevere vulnerable, made Lancelot inevitable. My sins called them to the quest. Their guilt drove them away. My failure made them want to escape. Every choice I made led here, to this, 50 men and a dying kingdom. Was any of it worth it? Did I achieve anything? Or was it all just waste? No answer, just silence, just echoes. Arthur blows out the candle, sits in darkness, waiting for dawn, waiting for the end, waiting for his son. Arthur knows Mordred will strike, has known for years. The prophecy is clear, unambiguous. You will be killed by your own son. Not might be, not could be, will be. Merlin spoke that prophecy 25 years ago, right after Arthur ordered the May Day massacre, right after 43 babies drowned. One survived, Merlin said, your son, Mordred, and he will kill you for this. 25 years of waiting, 25 years of watching that baby grow into a boy, that boy into a man, 25 years of waiting for the blade. Every morning Arthur wakes up thinking, is today the day? Every time Mordred approaches, Arthur's hand goes to his sword. Just reflex, just instinct. Every time they're alone together, Arthur wonders, will he strike now? Is this the moment? But Mordred never does. Just smiles, just serves, just waits. It's psychological torture, the worst kind, not knowing when, not knowing how, just knowing it's coming. Arthur could execute Mordred, could have him killed, could exile him, could do something. But how? On what grounds? I'm executing my son because of a prophecy? I'm killing him because I'm afraid of him? He tried that once, 25 years ago. Drowned 43 babies trying to kill Mordred. It didn't work. Mordred survived. And Arthur's been paying for that sin ever since. He can't do it again, can't murder his own son. Not openly, not deliberately. So he waits. And Mordred waits. And everyone knows what's coming. They're all just waiting to see when and how, and whether anyone survives. One morning, a messenger arrives at Camelot's gates, exhausted, panicked, horse half dead from being ridden too hard. My Lord King, northern border, raiders, Saxons, villages burning, people dying. You must come. Arthur is in his study when the message arrives. Mordred is with him. They're reviewing tax records. Boring administrative work. What kingship actually is. Arthur reads the message. His face doesn't change, doesn't show surprise or alarm, just tired acceptance. Saxons on the northern border, he says. Burning villages. How many? Mordred asks. The messenger doesn't know. Maybe hundreds. Maybe more. What will you do? Arthur looks at Mordred, really looks at him, trying to read his face. Is this real? Or is this the trap? Mordred's face shows nothing, just concern, just duty. I'll go, Arthur says finally. It's my duty. I'm the king. If my people are burning, I go. It could be a trap, Mordred says carefully. I know. If you leave Camelot, you leave it vulnerable. I know. I could go instead. Lead the knights. You stay here where it's safe. Arthur almost laughs. Safe? Nowhere is safe. Not anymore. No, he says. I go. You stay. Guard Camelot. Keep the kingdom running. Are you sure? No. But I'm doing it anyway. Because what choice does he have? If he doesn't go, he's not a king, just a frightened old man hiding in his castle. If he goes, he might be walking into a trap. Mordred's trap. Leaving Camelot undefended. But he goes anyway, because he's the king, and kings don't hide. Arthur assembles his knights, his real knights, the ones he trusts, Gawain, Bedivere, Kay, Bors, maybe 25 or 30 others, everyone he can truly rely on,
The broken quest returnees stay behind, too unstable for battle, too haunted to be useful. Some younger knights stay too, not many, just a dozen, to guard the castle. Arthur is taking everyone who matters, everyone loyal, leaving Camelot defended by maybe 15 functional fighters and 30 ghosts. Kay pulls Arthur aside before they leave. This is a mistake. This is Mordred's move. I can feel it. I know. Then why are you doing this? Because if I don't go, I'm admitting I'm afraid of my own son. I'm admitting he controls me. He does control you. He controls all of us. This kingdom is his already. We're just too proud to admit it. Arthur has no response. Because Kay is right. Kay is always right. Come with me, Arthur says finally. If Mordred moves, at least we'll die together. That's not comforting. It's all I have. They ride out. 30 knights. Arthur at the front. Excalibur at his side. He stops at the gate, looks back at Camelot. His castle, his kingdom, his life's work. Knows he might never see it again. Mordred is watching from the battlements, standing perfectly still, perfectly composed. Their eyes meet across the distance, father and son, king and heir. Arthur raises his hand, a wave, a salute, a goodbye. Mordred raises his hand back, mimicking the gesture. Then Arthur turns, rides through the gate, heads north, and Mordred smiles. Arthur is barely out of sight, maybe an hour's ride, barely past the horizon. Mordred moves. He doesn't wait, doesn't hesitate, doesn't second guess. He's been planning this for 6 years. Every detail, every step. Now it's time. He calls for a general assembly, throne room, everyone, knights, nobles, clergy, guards, servants, everyone. Within an hour, the hall is packed, maybe 100 to 150 people. Everyone who matters in Camelot. Some are confused. Why are we here? The king just left. Exactly, Mordred says. He stands before Arthur's empty throne. Doesn't sit yet. Not yet. He looks at the assembled crowd. Everyone waiting. Everyone watching. Arthur is gone, he says. His voice carries. Clear. Strong. Certain. Chasing ghosts in the north, while the kingdom dies here. Murmurs. Some uncomfortable shifting. People aren't sure where this is going. I have served him faithfully for 6 years, Mordred continues. Stayed loyal when everyone else left. Stayed strong when he grew weak. I have watched him fail, watched him weaken, watched him destroy everything he built. His sins have brought us here. The May Day massacre, 43 babies murdered, my own attempted murder. That sin created me. His loveless marriage to Guinevere. That sin created the affair that shattered the Round Table. His failures created the Grail quest. His inability to hold his knight's loyalty sent 100 men to their deaths chasing fantasies. Everything Arthur touches turns to ash. Everyone Arthur leads ends up dead or broken. Look at this kingdom. Look at it. He gestures around the hall. The empty spaces, the broken men, the decay. This is Arthur's legacy. Destruction, failure, weakness. Britain needs a strong king, a young king, a king who wasn't born from rape and shame, a king who can actually lead. He pauses, lets it sink in. I claim this throne. I claim this kingdom. I claim the title of king. Silence. Total. Stunned. Then Mordred. Who stands with me? For a moment, nothing. No one moves. No one speaks. Then one of the younger knights stands. I stand with you. Another stands. And I. Then more. Standing one by one. Knights, nobles, even some clergy. Not everyone, but enough. More than enough. Within minutes, maybe 80% of the room is standing, declaring for Mordred. The remaining 20%, older servants, Arthur's personal retainers, a few loyal knights who stayed behind. They don't stand. They look terrified, trapped, outnumbered. Mordred gestures to his guards. Seize them. Anyone who doesn't support me is imprisoned. Gently. Don't harm them. They're not traitors, just confused. His guards move quickly, efficiently, taking the dissenters, leading them to the dungeons. One old servant, a man who served Arthur for 30 years, shouts as he's dragged away, "You're a traitor! Arthur will return. He'll kill you for this." Mordred walks over to him, looks down at the old man. Arthur won't return, or if he does, he'll die. That's what prophecy says. That's what always happens. I'm not the traitor. He is. He tried to murder me. He murdered 43 other babies. He destroyed this kingdom through his weakness and his sins. I'm the liberator. I'm saving Britain from a failed king. The old man spits at him. Mordred wipes his face calmly. Take him away. Don't hurt him. He's just old and loyal. I respect that. The servants are dragged off. The hall is quiet again. Mordred turns to the remaining crowd. Everyone who stood. Everyone who chose him. Thank you, he says simply. You've made the right choice. The only choice. Now we consolidate power. Now we prepare. Because Arthur will return. And when he does, we'll be ready. He walks to the throne. Arthur's throne. The throne Arthur has sat in for 25 years. Mordred sits down. Fits perfectly. Send word to all neighboring kingdoms, he says. Tell them Arthur is deposed. Tell them I am king now. Tell them to honor their treaties with me. Anyone who refuses, we consider an enemy. Secure all gates, all walls, all defenses. Camelot is mine now. No one enters or leaves without my permission. Confiscate the treasury. We'll need funds for what's coming. And send scouts north. I want to know exactly when Arthur realizes what's happened. I want to know when he's coming back. Because he will come back. And we'll be ready. His orders are carried out immediately. Efficiently. This isn't chaos. This is a planned coup. Every step rehearsed. Within hours, Camelot is secured. Mordred's guards on every wall. His men at every gate. His allies in every position of power. It's done. Bloodless, quick, efficient. Mordred is king now, whether Arthur acknowledges it or not. 3 days later, Arthur and his knights are riding north, toward the supposed Saxon raids. They haven't found anything yet. No burning villages. No raiders. No evidence of attacks. Kay. This is a trap. We need to turn back. Arthur. If it's a trap, it's already sprung. Going back changes nothing. They're camping when the messenger arrives. A lone rider, exhausted, terrified. He collapses off his horse, crawls toward Arthur. "My lord!"
Camelot, Mordred. Arthur already knows, can feel it, the prophecy tightening around his throat. What happened? Mordred seized Camelot. The moment you left, he declared himself king. He controls the castle, the gates, the treasury, everything. He imprisoned anyone who opposed him. He sent messages to every neighboring kingdom claiming the throne. He's calling you the failed king. He's saying you're deposed. He's... Enough, Arthur says quietly. I understand. He stands, looks at his 30 knights. Everyone's staring at him. Kay, we ride back. We take back what's yours. With 30 men? Arthur laughs bitterly. Against Mordred's hundreds, maybe thousands by now. Gawain, then what? We surrender? We run? No, we fight. We ride back to Camelot. We face him. We end this. Bedivere, my lord. The prophecy. You'll die. I know. Then why fight? Why not just let him have it? Abdicate. Survive. Arthur looks at his oldest friend, Bedivere, who's been with him 40 years. Because those men followed me here, I won't abandon them. And I won't let Mordred have my throne, not like this, not through treason. He wants to kill me? Fine, let him try, but I'll make him work for it. We ride south, toward Camelot, toward Mordred, toward the prophecy. Anyone who wants to leave, leave now. No shame, no judgment. This is suicide. We all know it. No one moves. Not one knight, not one soldier. For Arthur, Gawain says. For Camelot, Bors says. For the kingdom, Kay says. For our brothers who can't fight anymore, Bedivere says. Arthur nods, tries to speak, can't, too much emotion. Finally, thank you, all of you, thank you. They turn south, toward home, toward death, and everyone knows, everyone can feel it. This is the end. Lancelot du Lac is in Gaul, France. 6 years now. 6 years since the siege of Joyous Gard, since the rescue, since the civil war, since Arthur exiled him on pain of death. He's built a small life here, a castle, not grand, just functional, defensible. About 50 knights followed him into exile, men who loved Lancelot more than they loved Arthur, who chose their friend over their king. They've made a life. They hunt, they train, they drink, they try to forget. Lancelot can't forget. He's haunted. Every night, the same dreams. Gareth's face. Young, confused Gareth looking up at him as Lancelot's horse tramples him. Lancelot, why? Guinevere on the stake, burning, screaming, reaching for him. Arthur's face when they were caught. Not anger, just broken, destroyed, betrayed. He wakes up gasping, sweating, sometimes screaming. His knights hear him, pretend they don't. Give him privacy to suffer. During the day, Lancelot trains, fights, drills, anything to exhaust himself, anything to sleep without dreams. It doesn't work, never works. He's 45 years old now, still the greatest warrior alive, still unbeaten in combat, still haunted by the people he destroyed. I destroyed everything I loved, he tells his reflection one morning. For love.
Was it worth it? No answer, just his tired face staring back. One morning, a ship arrives from Britain, a messenger, exhausted, desperate, seeking Lancelot specifically. "Sir Lancelot, you must hear this!" Lancelot is in the courtyard training when the messenger arrives, puts down his sword, walks over. "What is it?" "Mordred has rebelled. He seized Camelot, declared himself king." Lancelot goes very still. "When?" "Days ago, maybe a week. Arthur rode north. Border raids. Probably a trap. Mordred moved the moment Arthur left." "Where is Arthur now?" "Marching south, toward Camelot, toward Mordred." "How many men?" "Maybe 30. That's all. That's all who were with him." Lancelot closes his eyes. 30 men against Mordred's thousands. "He'll die," Lancelot says quietly. "Yes, everyone knows it. That's why I came. I thought, maybe you should know." "Why? Why should I know?" "Because you're his friend. Were his friend. Because..." The messenger trails off. Lancelot looks at him. "Because Arthur will die alone unless someone helps him." "Yes." Lancelot stands there, silent, thinking. His knights gather around. They've heard the news. They're waiting for his decision. One of them, Sir Hector, Lancelot's cousin, speaks up. "It's not our fight. Arthur exiled you, on pain of death. If you return to Britain, he can execute you." "If he survives long enough to execute me," Lancelot says, "why should we care? He chose Mordred over you. He chose his son over his friend. He had no choice. Mordred is his blood, his guilt, his sin made flesh. So I abandoned him once, when he needed me most. When Guinevere needed me, I wasn't there. You were there. You rescued her. You started a war for her. And then I left. Ran to France. Hid here for 6 years while Arthur held everything together with 50 broken men. He exiled you! And I deserved it. I betrayed him. I loved his wife. I killed his knights." Lancelot's voice rising now, passionate, desperate. "I destroyed everything. Everything he built. Everything he trusted. I took it all and shattered it for love. And now he's going to die, alone, outnumbered, doomed. I can't save him. 50 more knights won't change this. Mordred has thousands. But I can die beside him. I can finally do the right thing. 6 years too late, but still." Silence, his knights looking at him. "I'm going," Lancelot says. "Anyone who wants to follow, follow. Anyone who doesn't, stay. No judgment. This is suicide. We all know it." Every single knight steps forward. "We followed you into exile," Hector says. "We'll follow you into death." Lancelot nods. Can't speak. Too much emotion. "Thank you," he finally manages. "All of you. Thank you." They sail that afternoon. 50 knights. Full armor. Weapons. Horses. Everything. The crossing is rough. Autumn storms. The ships rocking violently. Men vomiting over the rails. Lancelot stands at the bow, staring toward Britain, toward home. Hector joins him. "You know you're going to die." "Yes." "You know Arthur might reject your help, might kill you on sight." "Yes." "You know Gawain is with Arthur. Gawain who swore to kill you for Gareth's death." "Yes." "So why are we doing this?" Lancelot thinks about it, really thinks. "Because I've run from enough fights, made enough excuses, hidden behind enough justifications. I loved Guinevere. That's true. But I also loved Arthur, and I destroyed him. I can't fix that, can't undo it, can't make it right. But I can die beside him. I can stand with him one more time. I can show him that despite everything, despite the betrayal, despite the exile, despite everything, he's still my brother. That's all I have left to give him. My death, my presence, my loyalty too late. It's not enough, but it's something. Hector nods, accepts this. They sail in silence, toward Britain, toward Arthur, toward death. They land 3 days later. Southern coast, near Dover. The moment they step off the ships, they hear the news. Everyone's talking about it. Mordred seized Camelot. Arthur's marching to war with only 30 men. Civil war's coming. Again. We're all going to die. Panic, chaos, people fleeing south, away from the fighting. Lancelot stops a merchant. Where is Arthur now? Marching towards Salisbury Plain, they say. Meeting Mordred there for final battle. How many does Mordred have? Thousands. Some say 5,000. Some say 10. No one knows for sure, but it's a lot. Arthur can't win. Lancelot releases him, looks at his knights. Salisbury Plain, that's where we go. My lord, Hector says, we should rest. The men are exhausted from the crossing. No time. Arthur's dying. Every hour we waste is an hour he fights alone. We'll kill our horses riding that hard. Then we get new horses. Move. They ride. Hard. Pushing the horses to near collapse. Changing mounts at every village. Buying, borrowing, stealing fresh horses. North. Toward Salisbury. Toward Arthur. The countryside is tense. Terrified. Everyone knows war is coming. Saxon raiders are increasing their attacks. They smell blood, smell weakness. Villages are burning. People are fleeing. Britain is dying. Everyone can feel it. Lancelot pushes through. Doesn't stop. Doesn't rest. Just rides. Meanwhile, in Arthur's camp, they're 2 days from Salisbury Plain now, moving slowly. 30 exhausted men on exhausted horses. Scouts report. Mordred's army is assembling, thousands, more arriving every day. Arthur just nods. Expected this. Then another report. My lord, there's a rider approaching from the south, alone, wearing white. Arthur's heart stops. He knows. Somehow he knows. They wait, watching the road. Then, a figure on horseback. Alone, unarmed, hands visible. Even from distance, Arthur recognizes him, would recognize him anywhere. Lancelot. No, Gawain whispers. No, 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 no. His hand goes to his sword, his whole body tensing. Kay sees it, puts a hand on Gawain's arm. Wait, that's Lancelot, the man who murdered my brothers. I know. I swore I'd kill him on Gareth's grave. I swore. I know, but Arthur needs him. Look at us, 30 men. We need every sword. I don't care. I don't care. He killed Gareth. Gentle, kind Gareth who loved everyone, trampled him to death. Gawain is shaking, rage and grief warring in him. Bedivere steps closer. If you kill Lancelot, Arthur loses one of the greatest warriors alive. We all die faster. We're dying anyway. At least let me have my revenge first. Arthur rides forward, away from his knights, toward Lancelot. They're going to meet, alone, just the two of them. Gawain watches, trembling, wanting to charge, wanting to kill, but he doesn't. He stays, watches, and hates himself for it. Arthur rides forward, stops 20 feet from Lancelot. They look at each other across that distance. 6 years. 6 years since they've seen each other. Since the siege. Since the exile. Since everything broke. Lancelot looks older, grey in his hair, lines on his face, tired. Arthur looks ancient. Like the 6 years aged him 20. Neither speaks. For a long moment, just looking, taking in the changes, the damage, the cost. Finally, Arthur, you came. Lancelot. Of course I came. I exiled you. You had every right to stay away, to let me die, to enjoy watching me fall. You think I'd enjoy that, watching you die? I destroyed your life, took Guinevere from you, sent you into exile. Why would you help me? Lancelot dismounts, walks closer, stops 10 feet away. Because you're my brother, he says simply, and brothers don't abandon each other. I abandoned you 6 years ago. I sent you away. You had to. I betrayed you. I loved your wife. I killed your knights. You had every right to execute me. Instead, you let me live. That wasn't mercy. That was cowardice. I couldn't kill you. Even after everything, I still loved you too much. Lancelot's eyes well up, tries to hide it. Can't. I've missed you, he says, voice cracking. God help me, I've missed you every single day. I've missed you too, brother. So much. They close the distance. Embrace. 2 broken men. 2 failures. 2 friends. Arthur is crying openly now. Doesn't care who sees. Doesn't care about dignity or kingship or anything. Just holding his friend, his brother, the man he thought he'd never see again. I'm sorry, Lancelot says into Arthur's shoulder, for everything. Guinevere, Gareth, the war, the pain, all of it. I'm so sorry. I know. I forgave you years ago. I just couldn't say it. Couldn't admit it. Too proud. Too hurt. Can you say it now? I forgive you. For all of it. I forgive you. Lancelot pulls back, looking at Arthur's face. I brought 50 knights. It's not enough. Won't change the outcome. But they're yours. You came to die with me. Yes. Seemed like the least I could do, after abandoning you for 6 years. Arthur laughs. It's almost a sob. You didn't abandon me. I sent you away. Amounts to the same thing. You needed me. I wasn't here. Now I am. Now we die together. Together. Like it should have been all along. They walk back to camp together, side by side, like old times, the knights watching, some relieved, some uncertain, Gawain watching with murder in his eyes. That night, camp, fires burning, men eating, talking quietly, preparing for death. Lancelot is sitting alone, away from the others, giving them space. He knows his presence is controversial, knows some hate him. Then, footsteps, heavy, deliberate. He looks up. Gawain, standing over him, hand on sword. The camp goes quiet, everyone watching. You, Gawain says, voice shaking with rage. You're here. Lancelot stands slowly, doesn't reach for his weapon. I'm here. You dare show your face. I'm here to fight beside Arthur, beside you,
if you'll have me. Fight beside me, Gawain's voice rising. You killed my brothers. I know. Gareth, young gentle Gareth, who loved you like a father. You trampled him to death in a courtyard. I know. I think about him every day, every night. His face, his confusion. Lancelot, why? I hear it in my dreams. Good! You should suffer. You should remember. I do. Believe me, I do. Gawain's hand is on his sword now, drawing it slowly. I swore on Gareth's grave I'd kill you. Swore I'd avenge my brothers. Lancelot doesn't move. Doesn't draw his own sword. Just stands there. Then do it, he says quietly. What? Do it. Kill me. I won't stop you. Draw your sword. No. Draw your sword. Fight me. Defend yourself. No. If killing me brings you peace, do it. I owe you that much. I owe Gareth that much. Gawain stares at him, sword half drawn, shaking with rage. You won't fight? You won't even defend yourself? No, because you're right. I killed your brothers, accidentally, but still. Their blood is on my hands. If killing me will ease your pain, even a little, do it. I'll die gladly. It's less than I deserve. The camp is silent, everyone watching this confrontation. Arthur steps forward. Gawain! Stay back! Gawain roars. This is between us! Arthur stops, lets it play out. Gawain draws his sword fully now, advances on Lancelot, blade raised. Lancelot doesn't move, doesn't flinch, just stands there, accepting. You want this, Gawain says. You want me to kill you. I want to deserve forgiveness I'll never get. I want to pay for what I did. If this is the price, I'll pay it. You think dying will make it right? Will bring them back? No. But maybe it'll give you peace. That's all I can offer. Gawain stops. Blade inches from Lancelot's throat, staring at him, really looking at him, seeing a man who's already punishing himself more than death ever could, seeing someone as broken and haunted as Gawain himself. You're not worth it, Gawain says finally, voice hollow. Killing you won't bring them back, won't change anything, won't make me feel better. They're still dead. You killing you doesn't fix that. He lowers his sword, slowly, doesn't sheath it, just lowers it. But we're not brothers. We're not friends. We're not anything. We fight together tomorrow because Arthur needs us, because we're both dying anyway. That's all. After tomorrow, if we survive, you and I are done. Forever. Lancelot nods. I understand. And I'm sorry. For what it's worth. I'm sorry. Gawain walks away, disappears into the darkness beyond the firelight. Lancelot stands there, still ready to die, denied even that release. Arthur approaches, sits down beside him. He didn't kill you. No. Disappointed? Honestly? Yes. Would have been easier. Easier than living with what you did? Yes. Arthur is quiet for a moment. I know that feeling. The May Day massacre. 43 babies. I'd welcome death too. Would end the guilt. But we don't get to choose when we die. We just get to choose how we live with ourselves until then.
And how do we do that? Live with ourselves?
Badly. We do it badly. That's all we can do.
They sit together in silence. Two guilty men, two broken kings, two friends. Tomorrow they'll fight. Tomorrow they'll probably die. Tonight they just sit and remember when things were better. By morning, Arthur's forces have grown. His original 30 knights, plus Lancelot's 50, 80 total, not an army, but better than 30. They assemble in formation. Arthur at the front, Lancelot beside him, Gawain on the other side, the three greatest warriors in Britain, together, one last time. Kay, we can't win. Arthur, I know. Mordred has thousands, we have 80. I know. We're going to die. I know. Bors, then why fight? Arthur looks at his men, his brothers, his knights, because we're the Round Table, or what's left of it, because we swore oaths to defend Britain, to uphold honor, to stand against tyranny. Mordred is a traitor, a usurper, a kinslayer who seized power through deception. We may not be able to stop him, may not be able to win, but we can make them remember us. We can make them pay for every inch, every life, every second. We can die like knights, with honor, with dignity, with swords in our hands. That's all we have left. That's all anyone has in the end, the manner of their death. So let's make ours count. Let's make them remember the day they fought the Round Table. The knights roar, pounding shields, raising swords. They're going to die. Everyone knows it. But they'll die fighting. Die as brothers. Die for something. They ride south, toward Salisbury Plain, toward Mordred, toward the prophecy. And overhead, the sky is dark with storm clouds. The final battle is coming. Salisbury Plain, called Camlann in the old Welsh tradition. Open field, rolling grassland, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run, nowhere to retreat. The perfect place for a final battle. Arthur's 80 men arrive first. Form up in defensive position, shield wall, spears forward. They look pathetic, tiny. A handful of men in a vast empty field. Then, movement on the horizon, Mordred's army appearing over the hill, and they just keep coming and coming and coming, thousands, stretching across the entire horizon, banners everywhere, professional soldiers, mercenaries, allied kingdoms, everyone Mordred promised power or gold or land. Arthur's knights see the numbers, feel their hearts sink. Jesus Christ, someone whispers. Kay, there must be 10,000. Lancelot, more, maybe 15. Gawain, well, at least we'll be remembered. 80 against 15,000. Those are legendary numbers. Bors, legendarily stupid. Some nervous laughter, breaking tension. Arthur sits on his horse, staring at the army before him. The army his son commands. So many, so impossibly many, and 80 men to stand against them. Anyone want to run? Arthur asks. Last chance. No shame, no judgment. Bedivere, where would we run to? Britain is dying. Mordred will rule it all. Might as well die here. Kay, at least the ground is soft. Good for dying on. More laughter, dark, gallows humor. Lancelot, I've fought longer odds. Everyone looks at him. When? Gawain demands. All right, I'm lying. These are the worst odds I've ever seen. We're completely fucked. Real laughter now. Actual humor breaking through the fear. Arthur smiles. First real smile in months. I missed this. Missed you all. Let's give them hell. A white flag appears in Mordred's line. The signal for parley, for negotiation. Arthur considers ignoring it, just charging, dying quickly. But no, he's the king. He owes his men the chance at survival, however small. I'm going to talk to him, Arthur says. I'll come with you, Lancelot says. No, just me. This is between father and son. Arthur rides forward alone, slowly, across the empty field between the two armies. From Mordred's side, a single rider, also alone. They meet in the middle, face to face, father and son. 25 years since the May Day massacre. 25 years since Arthur tried to murder this baby. Now that baby is a man, strong, young, confident. And Arthur is old, tired, defeated before the battle even starts. They look at each other in silence, studying, measuring. Father, Mordred says, not quite mocking, not quite respectful, something in between. Son, Arthur replies, same tone. You came. Of course I came. You stole my throne. I claimed what should have been mine. What would have been mine if you just died naturally like old men are supposed to? I'm only 46. You look 70. Britain doesn't have time to wait for you to die of old age. Arthur almost smiles. It's true, he does look ancient. So you took it by force. I took it because you failed, because you're weak, because Britain is dying under your rule. And you think you can do better? I know I can. I'm young, strong, decisive. I don't carry your guilt, your sins, your failures. Arthur studies his son, seeing himself at 25, confident, certain, convinced he can fix everything. You'll carry your own sins soon enough, Arthur says. Treachery, patricide, usurpation, those are heavy. Not treachery, justice. You tried to murder me, remember? Drowned 43 babies trying to kill me. I remember. So, this is justice. The son you tried to kill, killing you. Poetic. Fair. Maybe. But what about Britain? What happens to the kingdom after we kill each other? I won't die. You will. The prophecy is clear. Prophecies are tricky. Might not mean what you think. Mordred smiles. We'll see. Mordred shifts in his saddle. I didn't ask for parley to trade insults. I came to offer you a choice. What choice? Abdicate. Publicly. Acknowledge me as rightful king. Live out your days in peace in some small castle somewhere. Arthur stares at him. You'd let me live? Why not? You're no threat. You're old, broken, finished. Let you live with your failures. Seems like appropriate punishment. And my knights, the ones who stayed loyal. They submit to me or they die. Their choice. Arthur shakes his head slowly. Then I can't abdicate. Why not? Save yourself. Save what's left of your life. Because those men followed me here. Followed me knowing they'd die. I won't betray them now. They're already dead. You're all dead. You can't win this. I know, but we'll die on our feet. Die fighting. Die as knights. That's pride talking, stupid pride. You could live. Living as a broken old man watching you rule my kingdom, that's not living. That's torture. Suit yourself. Arthur looks at his son one more time, really looks, trying to see something of himself, something redeemable, sees only anger, only ambition, only the sins of the father made flesh. "I'm sorry," Arthur says quietly. Mordred blinks. "What?" "I'm sorry. For the massacre. For trying to kill you. For the prophecy and the fear and all of it. You were an innocent baby. You didn't deserve that. No baby deserves that. I was afraid. The prophecy terrified me. So I tried to kill you. Killed 43 others trying. And here we are. The prophecy coming true because I tried to prevent it. I'm sorry, for what it's worth. I'm sorry." Mordred stares at him, face unreadable. Then, "It's worth nothing. Your apology changes nothing. They're still dead. I still grew up knowing my father tried to murder me. Sorry doesn't fix that. Only blood fixes that." Arthur nods. Expected that answer. "Then let's shed blood. Yours and mine. Let's finish this." "Yes, let's." They turn their horses, ride back toward their armies. The parley is over. The negotiation failed. War is inevitable now. Arthur rides back to his lines, dismounts, addresses his knights one last time. "Mordred offered me abdication, survival, peace. I refused, because I won't abandon you. Won't surrender while you're willing to fight. If any of you want to leave now, go. No shame. I understand. The odds are impossible." No one moves. Lancelot, "We didn't come here to leave." Gawain, "We came to die beside our king." Bors, "And maybe take a few hundred of them with us." Kay, "Preferably Mordred." Arthur nods. Can't speak. Too much emotion. He turns back toward Mordred's army. They're forming up, getting ready. The battle will start soon. Minutes, maybe seconds. Then, something moves in the grass between the two armies. An adder, a venomous snake, disturbed by all the noise and movement, slithering out of hiding. It coils, hisses, right between the armies. One of Arthur's young knights sees it, 19 years old, terrified, not thinking clearly. He draws his sword, steps forward to kill the snake before it bites anyone. His sword flashes in the sunlight. Mordred's army sees it, sees drawn steel, sees aggressive movement. Someone shouts, "Treachery! They're attacking!" Mordred, "Wait! No! It's just a..." Too late. His army surges forward. Thousands of men misunderstanding, thinking Arthur broke the parley, thinking it's treachery. Arthur's forces see Mordred's army charging. "They're attacking! Defend yourselves!" Arthur, "No! Wait! It was a snake! Just a..." Too late. The armies collide with a roar of metal and screaming. The battle has begun. By accident. By misunderstanding. By a fucking snake. Arthur and Mordred lock eyes across the battlefield, both knowing what happened, both unable to stop it now. The prophecy in motion. Inevitable. Unstoppable. Arthur draws Excalibur. Mordred draws his blade, and the slaughter begins. Chaos, immediate, total, overwhelming. Mordred's thousands slam into Arthur's 80 like an ocean wave hitting a sandcastle. The shield wall holds for a moment. Arthur's veterans locking shields, bracing, taking the impact. Then it buckles, starts to break. Too much weight, too much pressure. But it doesn't shatter, doesn't collapse entirely. These are the best warriors in Britain. The survivors, the ones who lived through a dozen wars. They know how to fight outnumbered, know how to survive. They give ground slowly, fighting for every inch, every foot, every second. Arthur is at the front, where he always is, where he belongs. Excalibur flashing, cutting, killing. He's 46 years old, but he fights like he's 20. This is what he was born to do, what he was trained for. This is what he's good at. Every swing kills, every thrust finds flesh, every movement efficient, perfect, deadly. Men fall before him. 1, 2, 5, 10. He's a king again, not a tired old man, a king, a warrior king, the dragon of Britain. Mordred soldiers recognize him, see Excalibur, see the legend made flesh. Some hesitate, some falter, some break and run, but more keep coming, always more. Endless waves. Lancelot is beside Arthur, fighting back to back, like old times, the two greatest warriors in Britain, together. One last time. They don't speak, don't need to. Perfect synchronization. Lancelot cuts left, Arthur cuts right, flowing like a dance, like water. They've fought together 100 times, 1,000. They know each other's movements, instincts, rhythms. Lancelot kills 3 men, spins, blocks a spear aimed at Arthur's back. Arthur kills 2 more, steps forward, covers Lancelot's exposed flank, back and forth, protecting each other, fighting as one. For a moment, just a moment, it's like the old days, before Guinevere, before the betrayal, before everything broke, just 2 brothers fighting side by side. Arthur risks a glance at Lancelot. Just like Northumberland, remember? Lancelot grins through blood, actual joy on his face. You got yourself surrounded. I had to save you. I'm surrounded now. And I'm here now, like I should have been all along. They laugh, actually laugh, in the middle of a battle, in the middle of dying, because this is where they belong. Fighting together. Brothers, friends. Then, they're separated. A mass of Mordred soldiers pushes between them, drives them apart. Arthur reaches for Lancelot. Lancelot! Lancelot fighting desperately to get back. Arthur! But the tide is too strong. Too many bodies. Too much chaos. They're pulled apart, lost to each other in the melee. Lancelot is alone now, cut off from the others, surrounded. 10 men around him, then 15, then 20. He fights like a demon, like a man possessed, like someone who wants to die but refuses to make it easy. Cuts down 3, 4, 5, takes a sword across his shoulder, barely feels it, kills 2 more, takes a spear in his leg, falls to one knee, still swinging, still fighting, drops another attacker. For Arthur! He screams, voice hoarse, desperate. For Camelot! More soldiers closing in. Too many. Can't stop them all. Sword through his side, feels his lung collapse, blood filling his mouth. Still fighting, weaker now, slower. Guinevere, he whispers, blood bubbling on his lips. I'm sorry. I loved you both. Forgive me. 3 more blades find him. Chest, belly, neck. He falls, forward into the mud, face down, still gripping his sword. Lancelot du Lac, the greatest knight who ever lived, dead in the mud at 45. No grand death speech, No dramatic final words. Just a warrior dying far from home. Arthur is 50 yards away, fighting desperately. Cutting through Mordred's soldiers, he sees movement, sees a knight in white armor surrounded, sees the blades fall, sees Lancelot collapse. Lancelot, no! Arthur tries to reach him, kills everyone in his path. 5 men, 10 men, but he can't get there. Too many bodies, too much distance. He watches his best friend die, watches him fall. Can't save him, can't reach him, can't do anything. Just like Guinevere, just like everyone, Arthur watching people he loves die, unable to stop it. No, not again, not again! But Lancelot is dead, gone. Another brother lost. Arthur roars. Grief and rage exploding out of him, cuts through a dozen men. Mindless, savage, animal fury. Not fighting tactically anymore. Just killing, just destroying. Because everyone he loves dies. Everyone he cares about is taken from him. And he's tired of it. Tired of losing. Tired of watching. Tired of surviving. Gawain is fighting near Arthur, trying to protect his king, trying to keep him alive. He sees Arthur going berserk, sees him breaking formation, exposing himself. Arthur, fall back! You're exposed! Arthur doesn't hear, doesn't care, just killing. Then, Gawain sees him, Mordred's champion, a huge knight, 7 feet tall, armor like a fortress, sword like a tree trunk, moving toward Arthur from behind. Arthur doesn't see him, too focused ahead. The champion raises his sword, aimed at Arthur's back, killing blow. Gawain doesn't think, just moves. Throws himself between Arthur and the blade. The sword meant for Arthur takes Gawain through the chest, clean through, out his back. He gasps, blood exploding from his mouth, falls to his knees, the champion pulling his sword free. Arthur spins, sees Gawain falling. Gawain! No! Drops beside him, the champion forgotten. Just Gawain, just his knight, just his friend. Why? Arthur demands, tears streaming down his face. Why did you do that? Gawain coughing blood, smiling somehow. Because I left you once, not again. You came back. You've redeemed yourself already. You didn't need to. I did. I did need to. Gareth, is he proud of me? Did I make it right? Arthur crying openly. Yes, he's proud. He's waiting for you. You'll see him soon. Tell him I'm sorry I took so long to come home. He knows. He forgives you, I promise. He forgives you. Gawain smiles, blood on his teeth, peace in his eyes. Good. That's good. Arthur, I'm sorry for leaving you, for the quest. You came back. That's all that matters. You came back. Did I die well? You died perfectly. Like a knight. Like a brother. Like Gawain. Gawain's eyes closing, still smiling. Gareth, I'm coming. Wait for me. He goes still. Dead. Gawain, the last of the great knights, gone. Arthur holds him for a moment. One precious moment. Then the champion is still there, standing over them. Arthur looks up, sees the man who killed Gawain, stands slowly, Excalibur still in hand. You killed my friend.
Arthur says quietly. The champion raises his sword. You're next, old man. Arthur moves. Faster than the champion expected. Faster than Arthur should be able to move. Under the champion's guard, Excalibur rising, one cut, through the champion's neck, through his spine, head falls away from body, corpse collapsing. Arthur standing over him, breathing hard. That's for Gawain. Elsewhere on the battlefield, Kay is fighting stubbornly, old, bitter, angry at the world, but still fighting, still killing. Takes a spear through his side, doesn't fall, just breaks the shaft, keeps fighting. Not today, he growls. Not fucking today. Kills 2 more men, both younger, both stronger. Doesn't matter. Kay's meaner. Second spear through his back, between the shoulder blades. Falls to his knees finally. Can't stand anymore, still swinging his sword, cutting at legs, tripping enemies. Come on, come at me. I'll kill you all from down here. Third spear through his chest, finally stops him. He looks at it, almost annoyed. Well, shit. Falls forward, dead in the mud. Kay, Arthur's foster brother, the man who raised him, who knew him longest, dead at 57. No last words, no drama, just dead. That's how Kay would have wanted it. An hour passes, maybe more. Time loses meaning in battle. Arthur's 80 are down to maybe 15, scattered across the field, fighting in desperate pockets. But Mordred's thousands, down to hundreds, maybe 1,000. Arthur's knights made them pay, made them bleed, made them remember. Every one of Arthur's knights killed 12 enemies. Some killed 20, some more. The field is carpeted with bodies, thousands dead. Most Mordred's, but all of Arthur's too. The grass is mud now, mud and blood and corpses. The survivors are exhausted, on both sides, barely able to lift swords, but still fighting, still killing, because they can't stop, don't know how to stop. Bediva is still alive, barely. He's 60 years old, one-armed, can barely fight, but he's alive, somehow, through luck or skill or sheer stubbornness. He stays near Arthur, protecting him when he can, watching his back, not fighting aggressively, just surviving, just staying close to his king. "My lord!" he shouts. "We have to retreat!" Arthur looks around. Maybe 10 of his men still standing. Thousands of corpses. Both armies decimated, destroyed. "Retreat! Where?" Arthur shouts back. "There's nowhere to go!" "Then what do we do?" Arthur looks across the battlefield, searching. "Find Mordred," he says. "If I'm dying today, he's dying with me." "My lord, the prophecy." "I know the prophecy. Find him." The battlefield is quieter now, most of the fighting done. Just pockets of combat, scattered survivors, the dying and the dead. Arthur is standing in the middle of a field of corpses. Excalibur dripping blood, covered in gore. His own and others, can't tell which. Every breath hurts, multiple wounds, exhausted, dying by degrees, but still standing, still alive, still the king. Then, movement, a figure approaching on foot, also covered in blood, also wounded, also exhausted. Mordred. All their armies dead or fled. Just the two of them now. This was always inevitable. Prophecy demanded it. Fate demanded it. Father and son, alone on a field of corpses, all of Britain watching. They stop 10 feet apart, staring. "Hello, father," Mordred says, voice hoarse, tired. "Hello, son," Arthur replies. No more words needed, no more speeches, no more justifications. This ends one way. Both of them know it. They charge. Arthur versus Mordred. Final confrontation. Arthur has Excalibur, the never-failing sword, the blade of kings, but he lost the scabbard years ago, stolen by his sister Morgan. Without it, he can bleed, can die. Mordred has a regular sword, but he's young, fast, strong, fresh rage driving him. Arthur is old, wounded, exhausted, but experienced, skilled, desperate. They clash with a ringing of steel. Arthur strikes high. Mordred blocks. Mordred thrusts. Arthur sidesteps, back and forth, across the corpse field, stepping over bodies, slipping in blood, both landing hits. Arthur's shoulder opened, blood pouring down his arm. Mordred's leg gashed, limping, but still fighting, neither stopping, neither yielding, both knowing this is death. The fight continues, minutes feeling like hours, both slowing, both weakening, both dying on their feet, circling, breathing hard, swords heavy. "You could have been a good king," Arthur says between breaths. "You made me this," Mordred replies. "You created me. I know, my sin, my punishment. Yes, your punishment." They charge again. They're both exhausted, both wounded, both barely standing, but they fight on because they have to, because prophecy demands it. Then, Mordred makes a mistake, overreaches on a swing, extends too far, opens his guard. Arthur sees it. Warrior's instinct. 40 years of experience. Steps inside Mordred's guard. Both hands on Excalibur, drives the blade forward, with everything he has left, through Mordred's chest, through his heart, through his back. The blade emerges from Mordred's spine, gleaming, bloody, deadly. Mordred gasps, looks down at the blade through his body, Arthur breathing hard. "It's over. You're dead." Mordred looks up, blood on his lips, smiling. Not yet. Mordred grabs Excalibur's blade. "Arthur, what are you?" Mordred pulls himself forward along the blade, impaling himself deeper, driving it through his own body. His hands cut deep by the blade, blood pouring from them. Doesn't care. Arthur horrified. "Stop! Let go!" Tries to pull Excalibur out. Can't. Mordred holding it, using it as leverage, pulling himself closer, inch by inch, blade going deeper through his own body, blood pouring from the wound, from his mouth, from his hands, still pulling, still advancing, dying but refusing to stop. "Prophecy," he whispers, fulfilled. Pulls himself up the blade until he's face to face with Arthur, inches apart, blood dripping on Arthur's armor. On his face, Mordred raises his own sword, with failing strength, with dying hands. Arthur's eyes wide. "No!" Mordred drives the blade into Arthur's head, through his helmet, through his skull, into his brain. Arthur screams, agony, fire in his head, everything going white.
both men impaled on each other's blades, both dying, both refusing to fall, standing together, locked in death, father and son. "I win," Mordred whispers, blood bubbling from his mouth. "I win." Arthur can't speak, blade in his brain, dying fast, just looks at his son with infinite sadness. We both lost, he thinks. We both lost everything. Their legs give out simultaneously. They collapse together, fall into the mud, still connected by blades through each other. Mordred dies first. Too much blood loss, too much damage. His eyes go distant, unseeing, dead. The son who survived, the son who killed his father, dead at 30. Arthur still alive, barely, impossibly. Blade still in his skull, still alive somehow. Vision fading, darkness closing in, death approaching, but not yet, not quite yet. He pulls Excalibur free from Mordred's body, bloody, terrible, collapses beside his son's corpse, lying in mud, in blood, in death, breathing shallow, dying by inches. "Bedivere," he whispers, barely audible. "Bedivere." Bedivere hears Arthur's voice, weak, desperate, dying. He runs across the battlefield, dodging corpses, slipping in blood, finds Arthur lying beside Mordred's body, both covered in gore, both dying, except Mordred is already dead. And Arthur shouldn't be alive, can't be alive. Blade went through his skull, but he is, somehow, impossibly. "My lord!" Bedivere drops to his knees. "Arthur! No, no, no!" Arthur's eyes unfocused. Blood everywhere, the head wound still bleeding. "Bedivere, help me. Help me stand." "You can't stand. You need a physician, you need..." "I'm dead already. Just don't know it yet. Help me. Stand." Bedivere wants to argue, wants to get help, wants to do something. But he knows Arthur, has known him 40 years, knows that tone, that finality. So he helps him, gets Arthur to his feet, supporting him, basically carrying him. Arthur looks around, the battlefield, bodies everywhere, thousands, both armies destroyed, his men dead, all of them, Lancelot, Gawain, Kay, all gone. Mordred's army scattered or dead, Mordred himself dead at Arthur's feet. "Did we win?" Arthur asks weakly. Bedivere doesn't know how to answer. Mordred is dead, and I'm dying, so... "Draw?" Arthur laughs, coughs blood. The laugh turns into a sob. After everything, after 25 years, a draw. Not victory, not defeat, just mutual destruction. "Is that what I built? Is that my legacy?" Bedivere crying. "You built the greatest kingdom Britain has ever known. And I destroyed it. Same hands, same choices, same sins. My lord, don't lie to me. Not now, not at the end." Arthur looks at the sky, storm clouds gathering, rain starting to fall, washing the blood away. Too late, far too late. "I'm tired, Bedivere, so tired." "Then rest. We'll get you somewhere safe." "There is nowhere safe. Britain is dying. The Saxons will invade.
The kingdom will fracture. Everything I built will fall. Not if you live. Not if... I'm not going to live. Look at me. Really look. Bedivere looks. The head wound, the amount of blood, the way Arthur's eyes are unfocused. He's dying. Obviously. Inevitably. Just a matter of time. How long? Bedivere asks quietly. Hours. Minutes. Don't know. But not long. What do you want me to do? Arthur looks at him. His oldest friend. His most loyal knight. Take me to the lake, where I got Excalibur. I need to return it. That's miles from here. You can't. Then carry me. Drag me. I don't care. Just get me there, please. Bedivere nods. Can't speak. Too much grief. Come on then, he says. Let's go home. They walk, Arthur leaning heavily on Bedivere, barely conscious, each step agony, across the battlefield, stepping over bodies. Arthur sees faces, recognizes them, his knights, his friends, his brothers, Lancelot, face down in mud, the greatest knight in Britain, dead at 45. Arthur stops, kneels beside him with Bedivere's help. I'm sorry, brother, he whispers, for everything, for not forgiving you sooner, for wasting our last years apart. I hope Guinevere is waiting for you. I hope you find peace together. Tell her I loved her. Despite everything, I loved her. Bedivere pulls him up. We have to keep moving. They continue. Find Gawain's body, also face down, sword still in hand. Arthur kneels again. You came back. That's all that mattered. You came back. Gareth is proud of you. I'm proud of you. You died protecting your king. Died like a knight. Rest now, Gawain. Rest with your brothers. You've earned it. Kay next, dead with 3 spears in him, stubborn to the end. My brother, Arthur says, voice breaking. You raised me, taught me everything, stayed with me when everyone else left. I'm sorry I got you killed. I'm sorry for all of it. Rest, Kay. You've done enough, more than enough. They keep walking, off the battlefield, into the countryside, miles, painful miles. Arthur fading in and out, sometimes lucid, sometimes delirious, talking to people who aren't there. Merlin, is that you? I thought you died. No. Oh, just the darkness then. Guinevere, I'm sorry. I should have loved you better, should have tried harder. Lancelot, you're here? Good. I missed you so much. Bedivere just walks, supporting his king, letting him ramble, letting him say goodbye to ghosts. Hours pass. The sun is setting, long shadows across the fields. They reach the lake. Same place Arthur received Excalibur 25 years ago. Dark water, mist rising, silent and still. Arthur collapses against a tree. Can't walk anymore. Can't stand. Bedivere eases him down. Arthur's back against the trunk, looking at the water. This is it, Arthur says. Where it began, where it ends, my lord. Bedivere. One last service. One last order from your king. Anything. Take Excalibur. Throw it in the lake. Return it to the lady. Bedivere stares. Why? Because I borrowed it. She gave it to me when I became king. Now I'm done being king. Time to give it back. But it's Excalibur, the greatest sword in Britain. We can't just... We can. We will. It's not ours. Never was. Just borrowed. Just a tool. Take it. Throw it in. Come back and tell me what you see. Bedivere takes Excalibur from Arthur's weak hands, the blade still bloody from Mordred, walks toward the water, reluctant, hesitant. Arthur watches him go, breathing shallow, death close now. Bedivere stands at the water's edge, Excalibur in his hands, the most famous sword in history, the blade that never fails, the symbol of Arthur's reign. How can he throw this away? How can he just discard it? Britain will need this sword. The next king will need this sword. He can't do it. Hides it under a rock instead, carefully marking the spot. Returns to Arthur, empty-handed. Did you throw it? Arthur asks, voice barely audible. Yes, my lord. What did you see? Nothing, just the sword sinking, water closing over it. Arthur's eyes suddenly sharp. Despite the dying, despite everything. You're lying. I'm not. I've known you 40 years, Bedivere. I know when you're lying. Go back. Throw it. For real this time. Bedivere flinches. Arthur's voice still carrying command. Even dying. My lord. Now. Bedivere retrieves the sword, walks back to the water, stands there, staring at it. This is history, this is power, this is everything Arthur was. Britain needs this, the future needs this. He can't just... He hides it again, different spot, better hidden, returns to Arthur. Did you throw it this time? Arthur demands. Yes. What did you see? Just ripples, water, nothing special. Arthur's anger breaking through the dying haze. Liar! You're still lying. Bedivere, I'm dying. I don't have time for this. I need you to do this one thing, one last thing, please. Stop hesitating and throw the damn sword. His voice cracks, the anger becoming pleading, desperate. Bedivere has never heard Arthur like this, never heard him beg. I'm sorry, Bedivere whispers. I don't want excuses. I want obedience. One last time. I'm your king. I'm your friend. I'm asking you, please, do this for me. Bedivere nods, tears streaming down his face. Yes, my lord, I'll do it. Bedivere retrieves Excalibur one more time. Knows he has to do it now. Can't delay anymore. Arthur is dying. Minutes left, maybe seconds. He walks to the water's edge, holds the sword. Forgive me, he whispers. To the sword, to Arthur, to Britain. Winds up. Throws it as far as he can. The sword spins through the air, catching the dying light. Beautiful, deadly, perfect. Then, a hand rises from the water, pale, feminine, impossibly graceful, no body attached. Just an arm and hand emerging from the depths. The Lady of the Lake. She catches Excalibur perfectly, like she was waiting for it, like she knew it was coming, holds it aloft, 3 times, waving it slowly, a salute, a farewell.
An acknowledgement, then draws it smoothly beneath the surface. No splash, no ripples, gone, like it never existed. Just water, mist, silence. Bedivere stands there, stunned, awed, terrified, then runs back to Arthur. "I saw it! A hand caught it. The lady took it back." Arthur smiles, weakly, peacefully. "Good. The debt is paid. Nothing owed anymore. We're square. She and I, she gave me a kingdom. I gave her war and death and blood. Fair trade." Arthur's breathing is very shallow now, each breath a struggle. "Bedivere, look." Bedivere follows his gaze to the lake, a boat appearing out of the mist, gliding silently towards shore. No oars, no sail, no visible means of propulsion, just moving. On the boat, 3 women, dressed in black, hoods hiding their faces, silent, still, waiting. The boat reaches the shore, stops perfectly. The women don't speak, just gesture. "Come. They're here for me," Arthur whispers. "Who are they?" Bedivere demands, half terrified, half desperate. "The Lady of the Lake. Her sisters. Death. Does it matter? They're taking me somewhere. Somewhere away from here. Somewhere to rest." "I don't want you to go." Arthur looks at him, his oldest friend, the man who's been with him since the beginning. "I know, but I have to. I'm dying, Bedivere. You can feel it. Minutes left. Better to die on a boat going somewhere than bleeding under a tree. Help me, please, one last time." Bedivere helps Arthur to his feet, supports him, walks him to the boat. The women help, gentle, almost tender, taking Arthur from Bedivere's arms. They lay Arthur down in the boat, on soft cloth, making him comfortable. One woman sits beside him, lifts his head, places it in her lap, strokes his hair, motherly, kind. Bedivere on the shore, desperate. Will he live? Can you save him? The woman looks at him, her face still hidden, but her eyes visible, ancient, sad, knowing. She says nothing, just looks. The boat begins to move, gliding away from shore, back into the mist. "My lord!" Bedivere calls, panicking. "Where are you going?" Arthur's voice, barely audible, fading. "Avalon, to rest, to heal, or to die. When will you return? Will you come back?" "When Britain needs me most, I'll return. The once and future king." "When will that be?" Bedivere screaming now. "When will you return?" The boat disappearing into mist. Arthur's voice fading. When? Then, silence. The boat gone, swallowed by mist. Vanished. Just empty lake. Empty shore. Bedivere alone. "My lord! Arthur!" No answer. Just wind, just water, just emptiness. Bedivere stands there, on the shore, staring at the place where the boat disappeared. Minutes pass. Hours. He doesn't move. Everyone is dead. Arthur gone. Lancelot dead. Gawain dead. Kay dead. Everyone. All of them. Gone. He's the last one. Last knight of the Round Table, last survivor, last witness, 60 years old, one-armed, alone, with a story no one will believe. What do I do now? He asks the empty lake. No answer. He looks at his hands, covered in Arthur's blood, looks back toward the battlefield, miles away, covered in corpses, looks at the lake where Arthur disappeared, where Excalibur is gone. What do I tell them? He asks. What's the story? No answer. Just wind. He sits down, on the shore, too exhausted to stand, too broken to move. The once and future king is gone, maybe dead, maybe sleeping, maybe healing, but gone from Britain, gone from the world. And Bedivere has to live with that, has to live with being the last one, has to tell the story, has to explain how it all fell apart. He sits there until dawn, watching the lake, hoping Arthur will come back. He doesn't. Finally, Bedivere stands, turns away from the lake, starts walking, back towards civilization, back toward people, back toward whatever comes next. The once and future king is gone. Camelot has fallen. The Round Table is destroyed. Britain is broken. And no one's coming to save it.
Bedivere reaches the nearest settlement 2 days later. He's a walking corpse, exhausted, blood-covered, traumatized. People gather when they see him. Who are you? What happened? I'm Bedivere, knight of the Round Table, last survivor of Camlann. Silence. Everyone's staring. Arthur, King Arthur, where is he? Dead, or gone, or sleeping, I don't know. Taken by the Lady of the Lake to Avalon. And Mordred? Dead. Arthur killed him. Mordred killed Arthur. They killed each other. The armies? Dead. All dead. Both sides. Thousands. Everyone dead. Who won? Bedivere laughs, bitter, broken. No one won. Everyone lost. That's what war is. The news spreads, like wildfire across Britain. Arthur is dead, or gone. No one's sure. Mordred is definitely dead. Both armies destroyed at Camlann. Thousands dead. The kingdom is leaderless, defenseless, chaos. Without Arthur, immediate collapse. No clear successor, no legitimate authority, no one everyone trusts. Dozens of petty kings immediately claim territory. I'm the rightful heir! No, I am! Arthur named me his successor. He didn't. Civil war. Instant. Multiple factions. Everyone fighting everyone. The Saxons see the chaos, increase their invasions massively. No one can stop them now. No Arthur, no army, no Round Table. Villages burn, cities fall, people die. Within months, the Saxons control huge portions of Britain, the eastern territories, the coast, advancing inland. The kingdom Arthur spent 25 years building, gone in weeks. The peace he fought for, shattered in days. The dream of united Britain, dead. Everything he built, everything he fought for, everything he died for, lost. All of it, irretrievably lost. The news reaches Amesbury Convent. A messenger, exhausted, terrified. "My lady, King Arthur is dead. Lancelot is dead. Everyone is dead." Guinevere is in her cell, praying, like she does every day, all day, has done for 6 years. She hears the news, says nothing, just closes her eyes. One tear runs down her cheek. That's all. Just one. She doesn't scream, doesn't wail, doesn't break down. Just that one tear for everything she lost, everything she destroyed, everything she loved. She stops eating that day, just stops. The sisters try to help. "You must eat. You'll die." "Good," Guinevere says. First word she's spoken in days. "Good." They try to force her. Can't. She refuses. Turns her head. Won't open her mouth. She stops speaking. Stops moving. Just lies in her bed. Waiting. Waiting for death. Waiting to join them. She loved 2 men. Both dead now. Nothing left to live for. Within 3 weeks, she's dead. Officially from illness, starvation, natural causes. Really from a broken heart, from guilt, from grief that never ended. She's buried at Glastonbury Abbey, simple grave, nun's habit, no crown, no jewels, just Guinevere, who loved and lost and died alone. Later, years later, Lancelot's body is brought from Camlann, also buried at Glastonbury. Someone arranges for him to be buried beside Guinevere. Don't know who. Maybe Bedivere. Maybe God. Maybe fate. The love triangle finally at peace. All 3 dead. All 3 together in their way. Arthur sleeping in Avalon, or dead, or waiting. Lancelot and Guinevere buried side by side. Forever, the tragedy complete. Let's count it. Let's add it up. Arthur pulled a sword from a stone at 16, became king, united warring kingdoms, built the Round Table, 150 knights, greatest fellowship in history, created Camelot, the shining city, the dream made real, 25 years of peace, relative peace, the best Britain had ever known, and it ended in a field of corpses with everyone dead. What was the point? What did it achieve? 25 years of peace followed by eternal war. One generation of hope followed by generations of despair. A beautiful dream followed by an ugly awakening. Was it worth it? The cost. 43 babies drowned in the May Day massacre. 28 knights dead in Guinevere's rescue. Hundreds dead in the civil war over the affair. 40 knights dead in the Grail quest. 30 more lost forever. Thousands dead at Camlann. Both armies destroyed. And for what? For a kingdom that fell apart the moment Arthur died. For a dream that lasted 1 generation. Maybe it was worth it. Maybe those 25 years of peace meant something. Maybe the children born in peace, the families who lived without war, the villages that grew without fear. Maybe they mattered. Maybe that was enough. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was all waste, all futile, all meaningless. There's no answer, just the question, echoing through history. Was it worth it? Look at the arc, the complete story. 4 episodes. Episode 1. Uther raped Igraine. Arthur was born from that rape. Arthur, terrified by prophecy, ordered the May Day massacre. 43 babies drowned. 1 survived. Mordred. Episode 2. Arthur married Guinevere for politics, not love. Loveless marriage.
She fell in love with Lancelot. Affair discovered. 28 dead in rescue. Civil war. Kingdom fractured. Episode 3. Nights haunted by guilt and failure. Grail appears. 100 knights abandon Arthur to chase salvation. 40 die in wasteland. 30 lost forever. Arthur left defenseless. Episode 4. Mordred rebels. Seizes throne. Arthur marches to war with 80 men. Final battle. Mutual killing. Everyone dead. Kingdom falls. Each sin creating the next sin. Each choice creating more violence. Each generation inheriting the last's failures. Uther's rape created Arthur's shame. Arthur's shame created the massacre. The massacre created Mordred. Mordred created the prophecy's fulfillment. The prophecy created the ending we just witnessed. No escape, no redemption, no breaking the cycle, just violence echoing through time until everyone's dead. The legend says Arthur was the greatest king Britain ever knew. The once and future king, the perfect monarch. The reality, Arthur was born from rape and ordered genocide. Killed 43 babies to save his own skin. The legend says Camelot was perfect. The shining city on the hill. The ideal kingdom. The reality, built on lies, destroyed by truth, lasted 25 years before collapse. The legend says the Round Table was the greatest fellowship of noble knights ever assembled. The reality, shattered by lust, pride, jealousy, religious mania, and human weakness. The legend says Arthur will return when Britain needs him most. The once and future king, sleeping under the hill. The reality, Britain needed him at Camlann. He died. Britain needed him after Camlann. He didn't return. Britain has needed him 1,000 times since. He's still gone. We remember the dream. We forget the nightmare. We remember the sword in the stone. We forget the babies drowned in May. We remember noble King Arthur. We forget murderer King Arthur. That's how legends work. Edit out the horror. Keep the glory. Sand down the edges. Make it pretty. But underneath it's all blood. Arthur's body was never found. The boat took him to Avalon, an island that doesn't exist on any map. A place between worlds, between life and death. Some say he died there, peacefully, in the arms of the lady, finally at rest. Some say he's healing there, the lady using magic to cure his wounds. Slow process, taking decades, centuries, but eventually he'll heal. Some say he's sleeping there, waiting, preserved in time, unchanging, until Britain needs him. When Britain needs him most, he'll return. The once and future king, the king who was, the king who will be. But here's the thing. Britain needed him at Camlann. He died. Britain needed him after Camlann when the Saxons invaded. He didn't come back. Britain has needed him 1,000 times since. Wars, invasions, plagues, disasters. He hasn't returned. Not once. Not ever. So when? When will Britain need him most? What's the criteria? What's the threshold? Or is it just a comforting lie? A story we tell ourselves because we can't accept that he's gone. Because we need to believe perfect kings exist somewhere. Need to believe someone will save us when things get bad enough. Even knowing he's dead. Even knowing he's not coming back, even knowing it's a lie, we still believe, because we have to, because the alternative, that we're alone, that no one's coming to save us, that we have to save ourselves, is too terrifying. So we tell the story. The once and future king, sleeping under the hill, waiting, and we wait with him for a return that will never come. What we lost, not just Arthur, not just Lancelot, not just the Round Table. We lost something bigger, something more important. We lost the idea that might doesn't make right. That strength should serve justice instead of self-interest. We lost the idea that honor matters more than victory, that how you win matters as much as whether you win. We lost the idea that fellowship can transcend ambition, that brotherhood can overcome greed and jealousy and pride. We lost the idea that humanity can be better than its worst impulses, that we can rise above our sins and failures and weaknesses. Arthur tried. He really, genuinely tried. He built something beautiful, something noble, something worth fighting for, and it fell apart, completely, inevitably, predictably, because he was human, because they were all human, and humans fail, always, eventually. But maybe, just maybe, the trying matters. Even if we fail, even if it all falls apart, maybe the 25 years of peace matter. Maybe the dream matters, even if it dies. Maybe Arthur matters, not despite his failure, because of it, because he was human, flawed, sinful, weak, and he tried anyway, built anyway, fought anyway, loved anyway. And that's all any of us can do. Try, build, fight, love, fail, and hope someone remembers we tried. This is how Camelot fell, not to conquering armies, not to dragons or demons or dark magic, to human weakness, to sin echoing through generations, to the impossibility of perfection in an imperfect world. Arthur was a good king who did terrible things. Lancelot was a great knight who betrayed everything he loved. Guinevere was a faithful woman trapped in faithless circumstances. Mordred was a victim who became a monster. Everyone had reasons. Everyone had justifications. Everyone had pain. And everyone ended up dead. That's the truth beneath the legend. The blood beneath the glory. The corpses beneath the throne. That's King Arthur. Not perfect, not pure, not the once and future king, just human, trying his best, failing anyway, like all of us. 4 episodes down, 1 to go. From the sword in the stone to the corpse in the field, from hopeful beginning to inevitable end. But there's one more story, one more person, one more thread to tie up. Next episode, Morgan Le Fay, the sister you haven't met yet, Arthur's half-sister, the sorceress, the woman who orchestrated all of this from the shadows, the woman who stole the scabbard, removed Arthur's immortality, made this death possible. The woman who helped expose the affair, who encouraged the quest, who enabled Mordred's rebellion. She gets the last word. She tells her side. She explains why, and you'll understand. Why she did it. Why she hated Arthur. Why she wanted him dead for 25 years. The sister in the shadows, the forgotten woman, the secret architect of Arthur's fall. One more episode, the epilogue, the explanation. Then,
the series is complete. Subscribe for episode 5, Morgan Le Fay, the sister who stole Arthur's immortality. Comment below. Was Arthur a good king? A bad king? Just human doing his best? Was his failure inevitable? Could he have done anything differently? There are no right answers, just questions, just history, just blood and legends and truth. The Midnight Archives, where legends die and truth survives, where we remember what history forgot, where we tell the stories no one wants to hear. Thank you for watching. Thank you for witnessing. Thank you for remembering. Arthur is gone, but his story remains, for better or worse, forever.